guys, thank you for coming and welcome back to the Goob Show. If you missed us, we missed you too. We have some controversial topics to talk about today. Number one being Kai Greene. Is he making a return? Eddie Hall, was it a clean takedown? And also, Gymshark athletes editing their photos. Again? No way. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the show. How you been, man?
Dude, good. It's been a few weeks.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's good to have you back here, man.
Guys, we didn't just forget the post. We were just all sort of traveling. And by that, I mean me. I was never home. But I'm back and we're doing it. So here we are.
So, Kai Greene, man.
Okay, before I walked in here to talk about this, I haven't seen this. So you're going to have to lead me out.
The Kai Greene thing?
Yeah. What's going on?
So, on his podcast, I asked him directly, like, what, because he's been teasing the comeback for quite some time now, right?
Of course.
So, I asked him very directly, what would it take at this point in your career? What would it take for you to make a return to the stage to compete? And he said, well, listen, if you ask an artist to do a tour or if you ask an artist to perform, what does it take? Money. So I want money. And that sparked the conversation. Okay, well, how would that work exactly, right? You can't just pay Kai Greene to make a return to the stage and everybody else would be pissed off, right?
Everybody shows up for free.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So ultimately, the only way that it can potentially work is if it's a novelty act, a one-on-one type of competition on pay-per-view without involving a lineup of other athletes. Do you think a one-on-one competition in bodybuilding, that format has never been done before, right? Just one guy versus one guy. Like, let's say you and Phil Heath. Do you think that can work?
Well, of course I think it can work. We've seen it work.
So basically, like, let's imagine Phil Heath and him. They get paid X amount of dollars, and they go to pay-per-view and they compete.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like a lot of these guys, I mean, Kai included, owe everything they have to bodybuilding. And I feel like just showing up to these shows, even after you're a super mega superstar, like you're showing up to these shows as like a thank you. You know, you understand that the promoter's getting tons of eyes. You understand that you're building the thing. But also at the end of the day, you can look back and look into your own bank account and look into your own fan base and realize that these people gave you a platform. Like you should show up to the show, as many as you can. Like I work in the fitness space and I coach bodybuilders and I don't need to go to these shows, but I just went to one. I went to one of my clients been with me for 6 years. I went to his show in Colorado, the Branch Warren Classic. You don't need to go to those, but you should. you
really that's a good point. I mean, obviously that's a Goob's perspective from outside in, and a lot of people feel the same way because you see the same comments, people saying the same thing, and so that makes a lot of sense. And I think Kai's coming from the place where he probably feels he hasn't been appreciated.
Yeah.
And he wants to be able to kind of be invited or have an opportunity to on a
just show up.
Special opportunity
Kai,
to show up.
Just show up, compete. We'll love you. We'll love you for it.
The question is this, right? Do you think Kai versus Phil today, if they was to compete against each other, do you think that would generate interest from the audience?
The fans would love it, which is why you should show up. Because like, why is any bodybuilder popular?
Right.
It's because of their fan base. Like, obviously they earn the spot and they look a certain way and they act a certain way and people like that. But if people didn't pay attention to you, you wouldn't be there in the first place. So like, do it for the fans. Yeah, sure. You may want to like stick it to it and be like, oh, I'm going to make sure I get paid. But like,
listen, like Jake Paul fights in boxing, right? And he gets a huge amount of money, I'm assuming, to do those bouts, right?
The celebrity fights.
A fan of boxing might say, what the hell, this is unfair. But he generates interest, people willing to pay for those type of things, right? So if there is interest for Kai to come back, well, why can't it be somebody that actually puts up the money?
Right. I think the IFBB would block that and would be very upset with having that happen because the same rules that happen in boxing.
There would be some immediate lawsuits. Do you guys remember the Inspire Physique Committee? Immediate. Let's get to court. Like, no, it's not happening.
Yep.
I also think Jake Paul's a different scenario because he is somebody that built his own fan base on his own platform with his own. You know, he was like grassroots, his fans, not people in the bodybuilding world that started paying attention to you because you're propped up in the bodybuilding platforms. It's Jake Paul, people watching him do the weird thing in the forest that we won't talk about.
Sure. That was Logan.
Oh, look. Are those two different people? Wait. Jake Paul isn't the one that did the forest thing?
It's two brothers, Logan.
I know that they're brothers, but I thought it was Jake. Well,
actually, they both did the same thing.
They did the same together. Like,
maybe they did.
Yeah, they like started trolling and then doing the different stuff, and then they've evolved and done their another business and commerce. But I'm saying like they built their fan base from their own organic thing. Kai Greene was a bodybuilder
Right.
that joined into the IFBB, became an IFBB legend, and the IFBB was happy to promote and broadcast him everywhere. And I just think it's like a thank you and a respect thing of like, just compete.
Just compete.
Yeah, if you want to compete, you don't have to, obviously, but if you want to compete, like just show up.
What
Do
would
it
you
for
think
your fans.
if it were to happen? Let's just say Kai comes up with his sponsor, or Phil and Kai come up with their own team and their own spot. Obviously, the IFBB wouldn't probably allow it, but if it did happen, do you think Kai would make bank?
That's a good question, actually. Would it be popular enough to make that money back?
So you're saying if Kai does his
Phil.
own, if Kai and Phil,
Do their own thing, and let's say they have
if
their own
Kai
thing.
and Phil nuke the one thing that's helped, okay.
Bodybuilders, right? They get paid for guest posing. They make money from making an appearance. It'd be kind of a similar situation.
Who pays them at these guest posing events?
Promoter, right?
The promoter of what federation?
IBB. No.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if a promoter from IBB says, I want to invite Kai and Phil, just
I
do the
don't
guest posing.
I don't think that Kai's taking the 2K, 6K guest posing check and saying I'll
probably
do
has
it.
to be at least 100K. I'm
Which
assuming. Right?
that's the difference, though. And no, like, yeah, if he just said, "Pay me guest pose," and here I'll take this, I'll take what that guy. He would, they would happily do it. They've probably floated. He wouldn't do it though. I don't think.
You don't think so?
I mean, Kai, 2K, Pittsburgh.
Not
Kai,
for 2K.
Kai, $3,500 guest post Pittsburgh Pro. Please, I'll bring it in cat. Kai, 4K. You guys got five? Going once, 5,000. Kai Greene. Yeah, he's never gonna do it. He would never do it. It's just So guest posing totally fine, and everybody's cool with it. It's just. It's, 6 figures? What is he asking for? Did he say?
He didn't say no.
that.
Obviously, they don't divulge that information, but I do think it would be a lot higher than 100K.
We also have to think about this could be he's doing it anyway, and this is just drama to build it up.
Maybe.
It's another possibility.
Possible.
We might see him at the Masters Olympia. Maybe him and Jake Wood already struck a deal.
Maybe.
Very possible.
Maybe. But the question is, like, there's a window of opportunity, basically, right? Do you think
For who?
For Kai, do you think it's still open to make that comeback and still be like popular enough to be competing and generate interest from the fans?
Have you ever been at a Kai Greene event?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's tons of people. People love him.
that's
People
the
love him.
answer.
I think he's international, worldwide. People know who he is.
I agree.
And he's not like 75 years old and no longer a bodybuilder. He's still absolutely jacked.
But he is in great shape.
Yeah, I think the opportunity's there. Just Kai, 5,001 USD, Pittsburgh Pro. We'll have a bag of cash. Vlad will be holding it.
Let's make it happen.
He just shows up and taps me on my shoulder. I'm ready.
Let's make it happen.
I'm ready, John. Let's go.
So, John, what's going on with this third-party testing thing that you started doing?
I don't know nothing, bro. What are you talking about?
I saw an announcement that you made.
Yeah.
Coming soon, I'm going to start purchasing supplements directly from manufacturers and send them out to third-party testing labs to see if what the label claims is true.
We're I just returned the paperwork with a company that does third-party testing, and I'm just going to start sending protein powders in, sending protein foods in, protein bars, etc., and just whatever comes back, reporting my findings.
To see if it's actually accurate on the label, right?
Yeah. I think there's a huge discrepancy. Do you guys remember like 2012, 2013, the amino spiking controversy? I think we're there again. And I think what's caused that is, have you seen how expensive protein is?
Yeah,
Very expensive.
protein and creatine and everything else.
2 pounds for like $60 is kind of the
it's
going
expensive.
average. And I think those things really do inspire particular companies to shuffle the numbers a little bit. And maybe not. Maybe they're all totally straight across and legit, but I'd like to find out. So I found a company that'll do it for a decent rate that I can send a ton of samples in and just report what I find. It's not a mission to tear anybody apart. It's a mission of like, this is what your label says, and this is what my personal testing said. Make your own conclusions, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Don't some of these companies claim that they already third-party tested or something? It's like,
You know what's so funny? As soon as I posted that, I had all these smaller companies sending me like, oh, hey, we already do it. So just reach out to us. You don't even need to send us in for
that's
testing.
suspect.
I'm like, that's exactly the fucking reason why I'm doing this. So I clicked through on one of them. This lady, she's like,
wow.
my page, we do blah, blah, blah. We've already done third-party testing and we're blah. And I go and I look, and her testing that she posts on her website for her protein powder, can you guess when it was taken?
2010.
No, 2020. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Didn't exist in 2010. I think they started the company in 2020 and they had testing in like July of 2020. Like your testing is 5 years old, and the whole selling point of the product is we third-party test. Like, well, no, you did once, because otherwise you would have updated this shit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if let's say there's a company, right, and they use a factory, if the factory is responsible for actually tweaking the ingredients in their favor. Maybe that's
the manufacturer.
That definitely happens.
You know what I mean?
I guarantee that happens. I guarantee there's a manufacturer out there that is skimming off the top because their margins are getting tanked by the cost of protein to produce it nowadays. But it isn't if you're the company, don't you want to be sending that shit in to make sure that what you're getting is what you're paying for?
Right. So in other words, if you
That's a good
discover
point.
issues and discrepancies, you're essentially going to be exploiting not only the brands, but also the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Because the
It
manufacturers
shouldn't take
are responsible.
Yeah.
'Cause we know here at Generation Iron that there's probably a handful. I would say I can count on my hand about all the manufacturers in this country.
Yeah.
For all the protein, creatine,
Really big ones, yeah.
pre-workouts.
The big ones, yeah.
in this country, and we know that's for me. I know it's like less than 5. So it's
not a lot.
It's not a lot. It's
not a lot.
So we're gonna find out.
We'll find out who's doing what.
Gymshark athletes, when they start photoshopping their photos, we noticed.
Wait,
there was a
Gymshark athletes? No way, bro. That's so crazy.
You know, it was about time that came out because I think there was a lot of people highlighting Gymshark athletes for a while, right?
This is a new case.
We probably
This
get
isn't an old case, right?
You probably get DMs all the time.
Yeah, it's all like a lot of the international Gymshark athletes that do it.
Oh,
I don't know why, but the last girl I did was Coralie VDB or whatever her name was. She went nuts. She went nuts on me. I did a video on her editing her, and she had
She's
her
a Gymshark athlete, right?
yeah. She had her PR firm reach out to me, pretending to be a law firm.
I remember
we
you told
remember
us
this.
that, yeah.
And they went back. They were like sent this whole fucking thing, and I was like, "You guys know you're wrong, and I'll just do another video, right?" And they went back and forth, and then they just disappeared. I pinned the video to the top of my page, and then they just off. They're like, "You need to take it down within 7 days, or we're gonna file." I was like, "You're in the UK. What are you gonna do? Like,
Right,
you're really gonna hire? Like, you're stupid. Like, no." And what I said was true. So this new one is a kid named Jan Fire. Jan Fire
I've
brand.
seen
or
him, yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yep.
That was great though.
What was he adding to his pictures? More muscles?
What wasn't he adding to his pictures?
Watch the wall here as it moves and shrinks. There it is. Moves and shrinks with his arm. Y'all ever seen an oval MagSafe in the back of your iPhone? No, but if you stretched your upper body to be wider while holding your cell phone and weren't paying attention like a ding-dong, it would probably turn into an oval shape, huh? I had no idea who this kid was, but somebody tried to send it to me yesterday, and I tried to click the link, but nothing came up because Jan had pre-blocked me because he knows what he's up to.
Dude, he's definitely one of those kids that if you met him in the gym and then you saw him online, you wouldn't realize that it was the same guy that went to the gym.
It's that bad.
Yeah, it's like pretty wild. And he got real upset and said he was going to sue me. And I said, LOL. I don't know why, but that post got like 3 million views. Me just saying LOL to him saying he was going to sue me. It's like the weirdest shit that just pops off. Like it has 3 million views on it.
With the actual video of you?
The video has like
Of him?
600K or something, but the
response.
screenshot of him saying, "I'm going to sue you," and me just saying LOL, millions. And then the one after that, he's like going, "Oh, fuck you." And I was like, "Hey man, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You said you're going to sue me. So if you need my attorney's contact information, let me know." And he like talks a little more shit and I ignore it. And then he goes, "Okay, what's your attorney's contact information?" And I tell him his website is meatspin.com. And then like 30 seconds go by and I try to click his profile and he blocked me, which means he went there because he's German. Like do they have meat spin in Germany? There's no way. No way were they meat spinning each other in the 2007s in Germany. So if you don't know what meat spin is, please don't go. But you're definitely going to go if you don't know what it is. And I'm sorry for that. Just don't go. I'm warning you. I've told you don't go. If you go, that's on you.
So what happens in that case now with Gymshark? I mean, what do you think is their responsibility as the sponsor or
Like
whatever
you guys
would
make
call it?
millions of dollars off of these people. You should at least make sure like they're good. Maybe they just don't care. Like if they don't care, like cool, okay, well, I'll continue to call out people.
Well, they have thousands of influencers probably, right? They probably don't
They have thousands.
check every...
Because the thing is, like, there's a difference between influencers and then also ambassadors. I mean, it's all kind of the same, right?
Well, it doesn't matter because if they're wearing your product and they're promoting your product and they're making money from promoting your product, you should give a shit about it. Like First Form, they have an in-house person that analyzes anytime they sign an athlete that watches and pays attention to that shit. They know what's going on. They know because they've had people in the past who have edited their pictures and they had to get rid of them. They have a contract they have a clause in their contract that's like the Goob clause. You can't edit your photos, otherwise if you bring public embarrassment to the company by being fake, you are no longer with the company. Wow. And they have a whole in-house position. And he's told me this personally that if they're editing, they're finding out. Like they know before I do. They're watching all that.
I didn't know that actually. That's awesome.
But that's care.
Yeah.
They care.
It's true.
Gymshark. Maybe you need to do that, buddy. I don't know. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're like whatever.
I mean, a company like Gymshark, you would think they would have a lot of people doing the same thing.
Yeah. Maybe like we're selling the clothes. I don't know. Let's talk about John Jaquiche, guys.
Yeah, let's talk about Dr. Jaquiche, right? That's how you're
Jaquiche.
Yeah, okay. I think so. Well, he has a
cool
similar.
guy, I like his content. His content is cool. What?
Goob has.
He's been on the page 3 times.
Goob thinks otherwise. Goob has exposed him a couple times.
He got a hat trick for editing his photos, and then his wife reached out and she's like, "If you don't take it down, we're gonna sue you." And wow, first time I've ever heard that in my life. And then they just blocked me. But so he has a competing product to a brand I work with.
He has a very similar product, right? Let's I guess
similar to Harambe, right?
Yeah. So it's all band training. Theirs is called the X3, and it's Harambe. Right. But it came across my desk. Somebody sent it to me.
Because I've seen his advertisements, believe it or not. And
they advertise everywhere. They must spend so much in ads.
Yeah,
anytime
I see that
I'm
on
YouTube,
Facebook and stuff like that.
If I'm watching anything on YouTube, it's like X3 every single time. Wow. And I'm like, I did a video on this guy. But so he does a YouTube. And he starts it. Now, I don't know if this is the truth, but it could be the truth, and it might kind of be the truth. He says something like that.
I'm not exactly sure how true this is, but I know it's close to the truth. Either 100% or almost 100% of the NFL is using X3 in exclusivity. So if you travel, you need to be consistent with your workout. They said, with X3, you're consistent absolutely everywhere you go.
Oh no, these poor NFL superstars with multi-million-dollar athlete budgets that are traveling for a professional team worth millions and millions of dollars. They can't possibly have consistency in their training when they travel. You have to buy your X3 in order to get in shape.
So they bring the X3 with them, and they use it in the practice warm-up area all together, kumbaya style.
Wow.
And he went on further to say that he would ask these guys about their X3 habits, and they kept it very secretive because they didn't want to talk about it because it was top secret. Because that's something that's normal that people would do. It's so stupid. Like if somebody's going to tell you the truth, they never start it with, this could possibly, maybe, sort of, kind of, might a little bit be truthful. It's the most bullshit thing ever. If we post you guys go find it and watch the whole thing. The bullshit's running out of his ears. It's incredible.
But the system actually works now because he claims that you can actually use that to replace the gym.
Resistance is resistance. It's like whether or not it's a great the flaws in his system are bands fray. The plate isn't as smooth. Like it kind of. I have one. It's like it feels kind of cheap. Like it doesn't last as long. Really? Like your bands, the sides. People have machined these plastic covers for the sides because it's metal in the sides, and if you think about a band rubbing against metal, it just gets torn up over time. Like it doesn't last that long. There's like tons of little flaws with it.
But your main issue with what he's saying is that he's saying that all NFL players are using it exclusively.
Like band resistance is awesome. Yeah. I like band resistance. I use it at least twice to 3 times a week in my house. I'm not going to believe that NFL players are only using your band resistance system. And the reason that they're using it is because they just can't find anywhere else to train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're oh, we're so poor. Pull our pockets out. Like these are the most famous, wealthy athletes with giant franchises behind them. Like, really? They can't find somewhere else to train? That's not true.
Sure.
It's just not true. And also, when they're on the road traveling for a game, like they're not strength training. They're like getting ready for, let me just get injured. That is such a huge lie. Like lie a little bit, bro. Like,
right.
Like, here's a good lie for you, John, if you're watching. We've sold, and they'll bring it with them traveling so they can warm up a little bit before they go out to I want to say compete because we're in the bodybuilding world. Right. Before they go out to play. Right. Yeah, they warm up in the practice area. They'll have one there. I've seen a picture of it. 1 or 2 set up so that they can warm up. That's a great lie.
Yeah.
Even if it's not true, that's a great lie. It's believable. But he says they do it in secrecy. They all do it in every single team.
Is he a competitor of Harambe system?
Yeah. They're both
competing
banned systems. Yeah, definitely competitor. Was he a competitor in bodybuilding? I'm not sure.
Probably not.
Was he a competitor in the Truth Olympics? Absolutely not.
Truth Olympics.
Absolutely not. Failed that task. By the way, guys, if anybody ever starts anything with "this might possibly kind of be true," just stop listening. Just stop. You don't even have to listen to the end of it. In this YouTube video, it's like a podcast interview, and the dude is just so like kid gloves with him, and just you can tell he wants to be like, "Dude, this sounds like dog shit." And he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, sounds good. I don't know about that." He wants to ask these questions, but like I don't know if he got paid for the interview spot or whatever. But he just like,
could be.
"Okay, John, sounds good."
It sounds like a lot of people like to get exposed, Goob.
I don't know.
And
Man.
I'm sure you still have you have a list of more.
Oh no, nobody on the list. Not at all, dude. I have so many videos lined up right now that I like.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because
So
a lot
many.
of people are probably asking who's your next target, because there's a lot of people out there that you
Yeah.
have on the
Oh, I
list.
just posted a good one. A guy named Julian Ariello. I'm looking through the things and I was like, Edwin liked this photo. That's really funny. I'm gonna post it today.
The interesting thing, I saw the video, and the video, you asked people, your fans or your followers, hey, if you can guess who this is.
It was like a "Who's that Pokemon?" Yeah.
right. You were offering them a $100.
$100 Hummus Fit gift card. Yeah.
First person to tag this guy in the comments, I'm going to place a $100 order for you on the house at myhummusfit.com.
Part of me, like, I wish I was able to comment and win
Sell your boy
myself. But I could not. I mean, the crazy thing, I don't know how people were able to tell.
Dude, so I put this shit into Photoshop, like heel told the shit out of it, so like everything was everywhere. And then I cut him out and put him on another photo that I took of an airplane that I was about to board. And I was like, nobody's going to figure this out. For 20 minutes, they're like 3 people got it. Wow. How
So
are you
crazy.
people doing this?
Crazy. I don't know how.
I couldn't even do it. They just figured it out right away. Like, even if I knew that was the photo of that guy, it looks like too many other bodybuilders. Yeah. It's just his frame with like random pieces of flesh on the inside.
Too many. Yeah.
Random flesh everywhere.
Everybody, I did see people try to guess Michael Hearn on it a couple of
Yeah.
times.
It kind of did look like Michael Hearn. We were like, is that Arnold? Because I gave the clues. He's an actor in a bodybuilder. And they were like, is that Maddox? What's his name? Jonathan Majors. And I was like, no, it's not Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Some people say Martin Ford, I think.
Yeah, Martin Ford was a big one. Rich Piana. Somebody asked if it was me. Idiots. Jeez. Well, somebody got it.
What are your thoughts on that Eddie Hall controversy? Thoughts on that?
I don't know too much about it. Can you walk me through?
So he just won his MMA match against Marius from Poland, and I guess
That was the one with the people were controversy about the strikes in the back of the head or something.
Back of the head.
To jest niemożliwe, ale awantura bije w gol, zraniony buziak, idzie po nogi, czy
Yeah, I saw the video. I mean, I don't know anything about MMA, but it doesn't seem like that's within the bounds of the rules.
I guess back of the head was controversial.
Maybe a little bad form. I'm pretty sure people like have gone brain dead because like your brainstem and stuff is back there, right?
Yeah,
there's like
It's terrible for you.
Yeah, there's definitely reasons why that doesn't exist. But you know, I'm watching the video and it's kind of on the ref because
The ref should have.
it seemed like it happened really early on. Before, you know, and by early on, I mean it
It's
wasn't
definitely
a very
not the
long-
ref.
Yeah, what's like it happens and the ref does nothing,
Right.
and then the fighter.
And that's a problem, man.
Yeah, if say it happens the first time and the ref, point, or how do they do it in MMA? Like
They stop
separate
they
him.
stop, yeah, they stop.
And warned him. Then like I don't think it would have happened again.
He could have gotten disqualified technically for that.
Yeah,
For illegal moves.
yeah, but I think they could give a warning, right?
Yeah, of
and then
course.
that probably solves it. But like if you're, fighting this guy, fighting for your life, and you're doing something and nobody stops you, like, are you? I don't know. Like, is that on him or is it on the referee?
This thing is on a referee.
It's like two dudes trying to kill each other.
Referee is
They're not really thinking when that's happening. I don't know.
They're not.
Yeah, two big bears just like fighting it out. Like I don't know.
But Eddie Hall does a good job of staying in the news. I think he's one of those guys that always is engaged with his audience.
Yeah.
More so than any of the other strongman athletes
Yeah.
that we've seen.
He's the
course.
most
and bodybuilders.
He's
too.
the only one, right? that does all these extra.
Yeah, him and
activities.
Thor tend to
Thor,
go
yeah.
back and forth with each
They
other.
hate each other. Isn't that
They
funny
definitely
that
don't
both
like
of
each other, and I think they've grown that kind of like rivalry over the years. And people
Do we
love
think
to see
it's that, or it's like a Phil and Kai thing where they're like, we
I think
could
it's-
really get paid, boys?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
both. I think it's about getting paid.
If they're like best friends, it's not that interesting. But if they hate each other, it's like, oh, the two
Well, look what
strongest
Eddie Hall
guys.
said about Thor. Actually, this is they boxed 2 years ago, and this is what he said about him, which is kind of extreme. He says, "I don't think he'll ever come back to do a rematch, so let him crack on. I'm done with that f***ing dickhead. I think doing business or doing sport with a man you hate is a bad idea."
Wow. Hate's a strong word.
A very strong word.
Hate's a strong word.
So yeah, so Eddie Hall, we want to see you in the ring again.
That's a PPV we'd want to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Eddie Hall, Hathor, and at intermission, Kai Greene and Phil Heath.
That see,
1v1 pose down.
Goob, you would be the best promoter.
It's happening.
Let's make it happen.
I wonder if Phil would actually consider that if the
No,
money.
probably not.
You think so?
I think he's chilling now. He's like,
No,
why do I
he's-
need to do that?
And thing is, like, it would be like exhibition match, so it wouldn't be like Olympia. You know what I mean? It would be like just a
Yeah, but
pure
he's not
exhibition.
like Floyd Mayweather that's just like looking to get back in at any point. He's like, oh yeah, let's see, what can we do?
If the offer is right, I think he would consider it.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I don't know. I feel like he's just got so much cool stuff going on now, and he's like living his life. He's got his
Yeah,
dog.
I think it's also. I think knowing Kai, I think he's probably like he's nothing. Not to take anything away from any of the past Olympians, but there's other Olympians that have won the Mr. Olympia competition that he probably feels
Didn't
he's more,
deserve it.
he's more
Yeah.
deserving.
Also, like if you lose to Kai, you're losing. Like this is a guy that's never beat you,
Right.
and then he beats you in some stuff like after your prime of your career. Like,
Right.
does it mean anything? Do you want to now get him back? Is there an opportunity to win again? Like it's
Right.
then it's just two dudes, pissing into the wind for no reason. I don't know. It would have to be a lot of money. It'd have to be a lot of money.
So what else we got today?
think with the onion one.
detox on. Yeah. What is that exactly?
So Detox Onion, we saw this video and Goob, I mean, this was crazy. I think this is like probably one of those old school kind of like
Do this every single day before you go to bed, and this happens. If you sleep with onions on your feet, you will detox your whole body overnight.
Oh, what a great thought, bud.
Was Flash God involved in that one?
Flesh God posted us on his story last night though, and the one where I was like, I'd have Flesh God on, dude. He's cool. I have his phone number now.
He's a fun guy.
because he gets banned all the time, and I was like, dude, what's your number so I can find your in the future? And he gave me his number, and I was like, all right, cool. So sometimes you post stuff, and you do not think that anybody is going to agree with it. I find a video of a dude saying he's taping onions to his feet for pain relief and to detoxify his body. So I was like, all right, let me look into this. PubMed, onion, feet, onion, tart, all the keywords that would arrive you to, is there any truth to this? And there's like one study that happened where they made a gel out of red onions and tried it on foot fungus, and it seemed to help a little bit. Nothing to do with pain relief, nothing to do with detoxifying your body, whatever that means, from taping onions to your feet. So I do this video and I make fun of the guy. And I'm like, hey guys, basically what I just told you, like, there's no studies, this is the thing, blah, blah, blah. All the woo-woos that follow me are like, actually, my grandmother used to do this and I woke up without a headache. Like, maybe you just didn't have, what do you mean? Actually, I used to get sick, and 2 days after I taped the onions, I wouldn't be sick. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? People will believe anything. It's like the grandmother effect, like Grandma said. Yeah. Grandma also smoked in hospitals. You really trust in her? Jesus Christ.
that reminds me. I mean, I think those are remedies that people will probably say. If you go to those third world countries, it's probably like very common.
Yeah, in third world countries, they're taping onions to their feet. They're also walking barefoot everywhere. Come on. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I got roasted. Not roasted, but there were like hundreds of people that were like, well, actually, there might be something to it. So I tried it. Right now, I can't show you guys, but in my Crocs, I have red onions and vidalias taped to my feet. Gonna see how I feel later.
Let's see how you feel later. Well, that is a great take there, and obviously we appreciate the insight with you guys. Please send Goob or here on the comment section any of the people you want have exposed.
We want to know what you think, guys. Do you truly believe that X3 is used by anybody in the NFL? Do you truly believe that Kai is going to show up and do a 1v1 with Phil Heath? Will Hathor and Eddie Hall ever battle again? Until next time, welcome to the show.